Hey y'all, welcome back. I'm Shayna Cersei. I'm so excited to paint with you today for another day in our watercolor journals. Today is going to be an experimentation day. I am going to limit myself to a couple of colors. Those colors are going to be the blues and the yellows in my core mini palette. I have Ultramarine, a phthalo blue green shade. So let me bring the card over here. So these are the two blues. So this is phthalo green blue shade, ultramarine, and then I have two yellows, nickel azo yellow, and this is a bismuth yellow. It has another word in there that is, I have to look on the back of the palette here. Yeah, it's bismuth vanadate or vanadate. I should really learn how to say that. I'll have to Google it. Yellow. And then I'm going to be putting these colors next to each other, letting them bleed and blend into each other, which will create some greens. So we're going to see what happens and probably adding some ink or gold pen or something like that afterwards, just to make this a fun project. So the first thing I'm going to do is rinse off my brush, and I'm going to pull out some of my yellow. Make sure you can see my palette over here. And I'm just using the very top of my watercolor palette. And here is my other yellow. Here is my phthalo blue green shade. And my ultramarine, which has definitely got a little Payne's gray in it. Let me see if I can get a little bit more. There we go. And they're already touching and making greens, but I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm going to start with my yellows. And basically, I'm just going to do, I think, some vertical stripes here. I'm not going to worry if a little blue gets into it. I am going to pick right up from the palette actually here. And just, now I started with yellow. I'm going to just pull up some of this. There's a lot going on over here. My yellows, because they are my lighter color, and blue will definitely cover these up in a way that yellow wouldn't necessarily be able to cover blue. All right, and I'm going to rinse my brush off and just kind of get everything a little wet. I'm like hesitant to put the blue in. I don't know why. I'm afraid maybe it's going to overpower it, so I'm going to start with some phthalo blue. I can definitely water these down. I just want to be careful that all of my yellow doesn't disappear. So I know things are going to overlap and we're going to create greens. But I do want to still maintain, so this is a very different blue here. I want to maintain some of that yellow. And I'm switching back and forth between the flat side of my brush and then the pointed side, or up on the edge of it. I do like this, the nickel azo yellow, and kind of the richness it gives, the depth. I think what's going to be interesting is these two blues. This one is so warm, has such a warm feel to it, and the other one is such a cool color. They don't look that different when you put them next to each other here, but when you start to put them next to yellows and mix them with yellows, you can really tell the difference in their quality. And I actually keep picking up the ultramarine blue from the palette. I'm just not as used to this palette yet, and everything kind of looks the same when it's all dried. I keep picking up the ultramarine when I think I'm picking up the Phthalo blue-green shade. So rinsing off my brush, blending. So an exercise like this can be really fun for just learning how your colors mix on the page versus in the palette, and also like how strong certain colors are compared to others, what you want to be careful with. Also wet on wet, how your colors respond to wet on wet, how to maintain control and not paint everything. So I'm intentionally trying to like skip over this area over here because I know I'm going to eat the whole thing up. Using light glazing, so I just put a little very light blue over here. Let's put in this yellow. And you can kind of keep going until you've either made an overworked mess or until you're satisfied. But you'll be doing a lot of learning along the way. You can definitely do different brush shapes. If you would prefer a round brush for this. Nope, wrong blue again. I want to bring this green into a few other places. And this blue, I want to bring a little bit more. There we go. The ultramarine is a granulating color, so some separation takes place. Just be wary of that. You will see a little bit of a change. Actually, I think this is really fun. This is a little heavy over here. I want to blend this in some way. I think I'm actually going to take some of this lighter blue, the phthalo blue here, and some yellow. This is like the dark side of the painting. And now my brush just has water on it, and not even a lot. It's just damp. Just kind of blending them together. But again, you have to stop at some point, otherwise you're gonna eat up all of your bright lights and start to get really muddy. So I'm gonna leave that as it is, and then I'm gonna come back and either paint something on top of this or use some ink with gold ink or black ink, maybe some white Posca markers, something multimedia, and we will turn this into something fun. All right, I'm back. Everything is dry, and I have found 3 different tools that we're going to use on here. So I have a Posca marker. If you don't have a Posca marker, Posca pen, which is a paint pen, you could also use some bleed-proof white or some white acrylic paint. I have a gold pen. This is a Uniball Signo pen in gold. And let's see, I'm just seeing if it has a size on here, but it doesn't. And then I also have a Tombow pen, which is black. So this is just a black pigment ink pen, Fudenosuke. These are what we're going to use. Okay, so I think I'm just going to do some doodles over top of this. I'm going to start with, I think, some flowers. Yeah, let's just do that. You could do whatever you want on yours, but I'm going to start. I'm going to get my Posca pen, paint pen all. And this is a bit thick. It's going to be white. So if you don't want this thick of lines. They do come in smaller sizes, like you can get a smaller size with a smaller tip. So I'm just going to draw some really big petaled flowers in white. Some dots in here. All right, so one flower, let's do another one over here. Put my center in first. Big petals. You can see I'm making them a little squiggly. And then and you can go over the lines more than once if it's not, as dark as you want it. Or as opaque, I guess I should say. Like if it lightens up a little too much, you can definitely go over them twice. These got a little gray looking. And again, you could do this with a brush and bleed proof white or an acrylic white paint if you wanted to. We are now in the world of mixed media. Dot, 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 dot. So that's super fun. I'm just going to go over these lines again because as they're drying, they're becoming a little less opaque. I want them to remain white and bright. And I'm just going to put some more dots in there. And then, let's see, put a few more. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to put in some leaves with the other colors. The gold might be a little tough on this yellow. We might not see it as much, but let's give it a try. You know what? I'm actually going to do just some gold kind of patterned scribbled circles. See that? So it's not as contrasty as the flowers, but still fun. Kind of a subtle design. I'm going to do this one right over here. I'm going to go right over my tape. And then I could even put a little solid, oh, well that one's going to be off the page, so I might as well not spend time on there. Almost like little, what does this remind me of? Something in chemistry. Like the little elements, their bonds. Oh, I wonder if I have silver, a silver pen. I don't think I do over here. That might be nice to pair with it if you have silver. I have this silver pen, but I don't think it works. Oh, actually kind of does. Let's see if it works on here. Oh, it does. So I'm just adding in silver, so that kind of goes nice with the white, adds a little bit more sparkly contrast. It's very subtle. It's hard for maybe to see on camera, but hopefully I can show you a little bit more up close in the end. This is a Shine Glitter Gel Pen. Definitely not archival or anything like that, but super fun for some mixed media art. Okay, and then I have black here. And this is going to be very contrasty to this, so I'm a little afraid to add too much of it. I am going to put in some leaves. I'm going to make sure they're tucked behind the flower. I don't want any of it to overlap with the flower, so I want that to kind of pop out. And I'm going to do a heavy patterned leaf illustration. And I don't think I mind if it goes over the circle. So this one is, I don't know if I gave you this sign. This is a brush pen, so it does have a little bit of give, but it's a very stiff one. So I kind of like the idea of these going right up to the edge of the flower and then stopping. It actually helps bring that white out a little bit. But I'm not worrying about the circles. I'm going right over top of them. They're more background. But by these harsh lines that are a little more contrasty, stopping right at the white. Oh, I'm so sorry. Camera shake. It helps to like create that separation. You feel like you should be able to see through it because you can see the very background colors through it. So it's a little bit of a mind bender. And then let's see. There we go. And then I'm just going to add a little more white something. Maybe I'll just put a few, what am I going to add white of? I just feel like there needs to be something else. Another flower. Maybe one going right off the page. Just put it right over top here. You're only seeing 3 of those petals. All right, I think I'm done. That's where I'm going to stop. I could keep going, keep doodling, keep adding. Let's take off the tape and see what we have with those nice clean edges. Definitely used this tape a couple times. Might have to retire it soon. There we are. There we go. Our nice mixed media watercolor Posca pen, gold pen, black ink Fudenosuke pen. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Shayna Cersei. Don't forget to check out the description for links to supplies and materials, which will bring you to my core mini palette, my book here. I will add in links for the Posca pen and the Fudenosuke pen. The gold gel pen might be a little harder to find. And yeah, thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like and comment, and I will see you for our next watercolor journal page very soon. Take care, y'all.